Hello, I'm Hatrix, and today I want to touch on the topic of need to have talent cards in Season 9. This is a thing me and my friend is discussing so many times when we get talent cards, golden talent cards, when we have to prestige, that is, what is the best talent cards to use, and what talent cards do we need to use, and what talent cards is the nice to have. So I'm going to touch on the difference, what I personally choose. I have my guess I have some personal favorites. Yeah, and I also want to say I never really played tank, so I don't have any tank included Ares. Sorry, tanks out there. I have played a very little hunter, and I have played a very little paladin. I have some of the Ares talents with them, but not in this, not so much in this list. Healers. Want to say sorry, but you're good. You're not on the list. You don't really have any need to have talents. Maybe you have, but then you can let me know in the comments. Not from what I've seen. So let me start by discussing what is nice to have and what is need to have. So these two talents, nice to have, 6% arcane nature damage. This is nice for your build, but do you really need to pick this over picking the Eclipse skill? I know this is also going to be, do you even have Eclipse or do you need to hit it? This is, I guess, the good case scenario where you can pick between your talent cards. Some players cannot yet, but this is something you can work forward to. And when you have the possibility, this is a good guidance to how to choose your talents and how I choose what talents I go for my prestige ones. So, because if you don't pick the Eclipse and you pick all of the damage node for your Eclipse Moonkin chicken build, you don't get Eclipse, you can roll all the legendaries in the world, you can roll everything, but if you don't get the need to have talent, you have a bad brew in the cooking, as you can say. Okay, for the top 10 list, I have some honorable mentions. I'm going over quick. Cat talents, predatory strikes, energy cost reduction. It will really make your build feel good. It's close to a need to have, but not really, I think. And also the extra combo points, you can live without this. You will do slightly less damage, but your build will work. Also, not much Hunter Boy, but the Lock and Load. 2 free spells cast, no cooldown mana cost. It's pretty good. Do you need to have this? I don't think so. And yeah, so keep that in mind when you pick the talents. What do you need to have? And yeah, also Paladin. Not much have I touched Paladin beforehand, but this is a very strong talent. I know that. Gives a lot of damage. Do you need to have this for make your build works? Nope. But I have a good news. Paladin doesn't seem to have that much that they need. Also, there's a lot of different Paladins right now. So even the Art of War talent, I have not included that. But there's a lot of Paladin builds going around where they don't need the Art of War. So for that reason, I didn't include it. But Art of War is definitely a need to have if you're playing that version. Also, honorable mention, I want to include the Unending Fury. This, in my opinion, could have made the top 11 spot, but that would have made a bad title for the video. So it's in the honorable mention. It's the Whirlwind. You basically, if you have the other talents and stuff, you get Whirlwind every... I think for AoE, you can basically just Whirlwind every second cast. And this is very much a need to have if you want to do good on a Whirlwind AoE build. So my number 10, it Relentless Strikes. There's not much to say for many of these. I'm going over them quick. Don't want to make the video too long. This is just 25 energy, and if you have a energy spender build, like a combo point spender build, you're missing out on so much of your build. And I would almost say this could be a nice to have for energy, but for most, these make a build feel awful or almost unplayable if you're sitting and waiting for energy. This as well could also definitely have not made in the list compared to the Whirlwind one. Maybe this is a personal favorite for me. I also put it a bit high. The numbers doesn't really mean anything, just the order I put them in. The number 10, if you need the talent, you need the talent. There's not anything better. And yeah, Conflag, cast time, I cannot play without it. It's not needed, I guess, but it just make all of these builds feel awful. Honor Among Thief, if you build need Honor Among Thief, you really want it compared to I think, Compound Shot really needs this. Dark Sergeant, Energy Bolt caster with the Mayhem, just to name a few I've seen, and there's so many more that just need the free combo points in order to smooth out your rotation, and you don't need to fish for the combo points. Eclipse, we went over this. This is a good example again. When you search Eclipse, why you really need to have this as a talent and really want to try fish for it, because when you search Eclipse, you can look at the list. There's so many beneficial Eclipse things. So very nice talent to have, and also very needed for those builds. Taste for Blood, not much to say. I mean, if you're playing a rend over power build and you don't have this talent, that is a rough time. You really need it. Hot Streak again, and you can even probably guess what the next two talents are. You don't need this for all of the fire builds, I know, but for any Hot Streak build, you need Hot Streak, of course. You can also argue for Ignite because, like, the Righteous Vengeance, it's such a high damage multiplier. But not a need to have. Again, Fingers of Frost, again, it enables so many builds. I guess in theory you could say it's only damage, but it's like, I guess it's like half the damage of most of the Fingers of Frost builds. So yeah, I say it's a need to have when you roll your build and figuring out what you need to put in. Missile Barrage, again, this enables your build. If you don't have it, you will end up with the full Arcane Mage, big, every legendary, every talent card. But if you don't have your Missile Barrage, Everlasting Affliction, this was also a hard one. Number 2, don't think about too much of the numbers, what I have taken too high on the list. If you're playing any Corruption, Unstable Affliction, mostly Corruption, this is almost a need to have to just smooth out the plate style. You can even do some snapshotting, more on that another time. And you can also even go and say it's a needed one, but you can even, if you don't have the perfect talent card yet, you can even go 2 out of 3 and you're probably still good. This works in a lot of Corruption, Eradication, Molten Core builds, Shadow Bolt, works in a lot of builds. That's why I included on the list. And last one, Millstone Weapon, maybe personal favorite. Probably you could say it's not needed, but there's some very strong melee hybrid caster that benefits from both Fingers of Frost, all of that, casting free Power Blast. And if you don't have this, your build doesn't work. So this also, you can say, if a talent like this is on the list, it's probably because it's really needed for a build and the build doesn't work without it, and that's why it's on the list. So I guess already conclusion. So if you have a big strong warrior pumping all the damage, improved Mortal Strike, Strength of Arms, this is, again, I just put some cards in, but yeah, you get the idea. A lots of damage, very good stuff for warrior, but you didn't put in Taste of Blood because you think, maybe I just hit it. But then it doesn't really matter how good you hit your build, how insane you roll your build, because if you never get the Taste of Blood, why even try to roll for the perfect one? Maybe you get unlucky, maybe you get good. So I would say, if you have the possibility, I know not all have the possibility yet to include like Taste of Blood as a talent card yet, but if you have, then Taste of Blood is, you should really pick it. Also, for this list, maybe I hope you guys got some ideas for if you have some nice any of these talent cards laying around, and you maybe get some ideas to what builds you can make, because if you have any of these talents from the list, 9 out of 10 chance it opens up for a whole build archetype in Ascension, because the talent is so required for that build, and it's very fun to build around when you have the right cards for the build. And it's not that fun to play the build without the right cards. That's it. There's no second pitch. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this other type of video as well, leave a like to show me, and so I have an idea what to try make videos about. And also, I guess you can use the clickbait of 99% of people watching the videos is not subscribed yet, so hit that subscribe button, and see you in the next video.